feeling stressed is really not that nice. And there's lots of different reactions to being stressed. And I'll show you some of the phases that I know of. No matter your reaction to stress, I hope that you'll join me for Christ-centered yoga on the mat, just for around 20 minutes to settle your body, to calm your mind, and then after, I will promise you that you will have another feeling in your body, soul, and mind. We begin standing on our mats, hip width apart with our feet, and stand tall. Side it out. Just notice if you're feeling tension in your shoulders. Maybe you want to roll them a little bit and let them go. Then place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And maybe you close your eyes and just notice how it feels to breathe. With your hands on your chest and one on your belly, notice if your breath is in your chest, if you feel you lift your shoulders as you inhale, or if you're engaging the deeper breath, where your belly expands as you inhale, and it all settles as you exhale. Try to breathe so that your shoulders relax, and your chest lifts and your belly moves out. 2 more times. Focus on your breath. Slow, deep breath one last time. And just breathing deeply can actually settle our body, lower down the hormones running in your body when you feel stressed and anxious maybe. Take a big roll in your shoulders, move them up and down. So tension tends to be here in our shoulders when we're stressed or worried. So let's get a little bit of movement going on there. So right now, the feeling of being stressed, maybe you take that feeling, like trying to imagine you're putting it out here. Just leave it there for a moment. Focus on what your body senses as we move on the mat today. Beautiful. Now bend your knees and come into a forward fold. Maybe you take a hold of your elbows. Let your head sink in between your arms and sway from side to side. And if you're in a rush, slow it down. You know, you are a human being, not a human doing. Let go of your hands. Place your palms on the mat and walk your feet back into downward facing dog, which means you lift up your hips, buttocks moves back, and you can paddle your feet. So cross yoga is Christ-centered yoga, and this also means that you are so loved. You are so much more loved and have to be careful of yourself so much more than all that you can do and achieve. You are more important than the tasks in front of you, or the task you might be stressed about. Come down on your knees, find child's pose, and knees just hip width apart, so not too distant from each other. Lean your buttocks back, hands a little bit in front of your forehead on the mat.
And try to relax your body. Notice, again, shoulders. Notice if you have tension in your forehead, maybe. Maybe you massage your forehead by moving your head from side to side. And then take your hands a little bit further towards your head so you can get up on all fours in just a second. So the first thing you do is come up on all fours and lift your spine towards the sky. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Navel in, and you can move a little bit here if you like. And then find your cow pose, lifting your tailbone up, moving your shoulders away from your ears, looking up, like you drop your belly towards the floor. Again, spine up, your cat pose. And then move back to a child's pose. Still leave your hands where they were just 1 second ago. And let's try to do this with a slow pace of breath. Inhale as you move into your cat pose. Find your cow pose. Lift up. And move back. Now, none of these poses should stress anything in your body or your mind right now. So if you want to follow with the pace of our breath, maybe you do this now. Inhale as you lift up. Cat pose. Exhale, cow. Inhale, lift your spine. And exhale, move back. Close your eyes and do these poses as you prefer to do them. No worries about it being perfect, right or wrong. Next time you move into your small flow here, notice how it feels in your spine. Is it nice?
Does it hurt anywhere?
And the last time through, notice your hands. How they reach the mat.
How they carry your weight? Beautiful. So wrap your last time through, no rush. Get in your child's pose again, forehead on the ground, and maybe you want to choose to take your hands by your side. Completely your choice. Again, hands to the front end of your mat, and then walk your hands back to your feet, to the back end of your mat. Taking your time, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming to standing pose, mountain pose, also called. Rolling your shoulder back. Stay there, close your eyes. And we're gonna receive now with some movements, and we're gonna let go. So still standing on the back end of your mat, gather your palms in front of you. Stand tall. And then let go of your palms and take your hands down by your side, palms facing towards the camera or your screen. Again, gather your palms and then lift them up. And maybe stretch out your fingers, opening up. If you want to go for a small back bend, do that. And then we repeat palms together. Move them down, opening up. Awesome. Palms together. Lift up. So maybe during these poses, is there anything you need to let go of? Remember, you are more important than every task you can ever get. So let go. My grades doesn't have to be perfect. Take your hands together and then lift up. Receive, you are enough. Palms together. Maybe you need to let go of being the good, perfect girl or boy doing everything right. Palms together, lift up. Embrace and receive, you are enough. You are loved as you are. Let go of worries about your future and what other people might think about your performance. Let that go. And receive. God can use me no matter what. And keep moving here. A few more times through. Maybe putting into words yourself what you need to let go of. Being very low practical. One last time through. Take your hands down. And finish with your hands up towards the sky. Because that's the most important thing. There is peace to be found also in your circumstances right now. So lift your hands up. Maybe move your spine back. And palms together again. Still standing on the back end of your mat. Moving into a little bit of balance. So if you prefer one side to start with and the other, please go ahead. If you want to go with me, lift your right leg up or bend your knee as you lift up. Maybe your right hand, take a hold of your knee. Gaze somewhere in front of you and take your left hand towards the sky, if you can manage to keep your balance. Beautiful. Then stepping your right leg just one step in front of you, toes pointing in the long direction of your mat, in the same direction. Close your hip. And then take a hold of your hands behind you like this, or just hold your arms. And then lean forward. Squeezing as hard as you can without being too forceful. Your shoulder blades together as you come into a forward fold. I know there's balance here, but you do whatever you can right now. It's enough. Awesome. Come into a standing pose again. Release your hands and shoulders. Now put your weight on your left foot, and this time lift your right foot and lift your left leg up. Bend your knee. Left hand, take a hold of your knee, your kneecap, and see if you can lift right hand up. Breathe. And there's nothing you can do wrong on this mat. Let your foot go, so a left leg in front of your hips close, and maybe hip width distance so you're not standing on a line here. Again, shoulder blade together, or hold your underarms and lean forward. Stretching both legs, maybe with a tiny bend in your knee.
Relax. How did that feel? Come into seated pose on your mat. Take your time. Whatever way feels comfortable for you to be seated in. Spine up. Tall spine. Try to suck in your navel just a little bit. Awesome. Take your right hand to the side of your mat, left hand above, and then lean to your right side. Try to feel like you're lifting each small rib here a little bit further away from each other, making space. And move to the other side. And I want to speak to those of you who get stressed easily because you are perfectionists. You want to do everything perfect. And you always feel like it's not enough. You can always do a little bit better. And this just is hard. Come back. I just want to say to you that doing your best is always good, but you will never be perfect. But you know, God doesn't need perfect people. He doesn't need people who are clever, people who have high competences. He needs you and me. He needs people who are willing. And that is the only qualification God needs. So your life, your happiness, your career, I believe, don't depend on you being perfect, but on you being willing to go where God is calling you. Take your right hand to your left knee and twist your shoulders to the side. Spine lifted, moving your left shoulder back without leaning back. And then move to the other side. And if you can recognize that perfectionist feeling in you, maybe you want to pray to God and say, God, help me. Help me to serve you and not the opinion of others, my grades, my success in life. God, let your opinion, the way you see me, because you see me as perfect through Jesus Christ, let that be the most important thing. Come into your spine, laying down on your mat. If you get cold, maybe take a blanket or a pillow underneath your head. You lay down with your knee bended, feet on the mat, and then sway your leg from side to side. Check in with your body. If you have tension anywhere, it can be in your fingers, it can be in your forehead. I'll guide you into your meditation now. That will help you relax. Straight out your legs, and maybe before moving into a meditation, as we did standing in the beginning, take one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And notice your breath. As you inhale, maybe you'll remember a passage from the Bible that Paul wrote that says, in my weakness, in our weakness, being stressed, God is strong. In your weakness, God is strong. In your weakness, God can do wonderful things. And in your weakness, you are still perfect in God's eyes, wonderfully made and enough. Let go of your hands on your belly and chest, and let your hands down on the floor, palms facing up, again checking in. And I'll guide you through a short body scan that will help you relax. And maybe when you're done, things look different than they did just some minutes ago. With your eyes closed, focus on the top of your head, forehead. Notice if you have any tension there. And relax and feel how that affects your eyes. Closed without using any force. Relax your whole face by opening up your mouth. Let your jaw fall a little bit to your chest. Tongue moving towards the bottom of your mouth. Notice your shoulders as they relax towards the mat. Maybe you need to push them a little bit away from your ears if it feels uncomfortable. But other than that, make them soft. Notice both of your arms resting on the floor, fingers curved in a relaxed pose. Notice your breath, inhale and exhale. Nothing forced. Notice the top of your leg, your thigh, and the back, kneecaps, and each leg, calves on the mat. Relax. And then lastly, your feet. Relax your ankle. Feet fall a little bit out to the side. Here being completely relaxed, vulnerable, not doing anything but breathing. You are still so utterly loved so precious. Christ gave his life for you, not so you can work yourself to the ground, but so you can be free. So God, we surrender our lives, our tasks to you. Help us to see ourselves and our lives in your perspective, also when we feel stressed. Amen. I will encourage you to stay down on the mat and relax, and maybe you'll see things differently after. Thank you so much for joining. I hope to see you again.